2023 rolls round. Boxing kicks off with a bang, Spence, this month. Eubank Jr, Fraser Clark, Richard Rapport, Joseph Parker, all taking to the ring next weekend in Manchester. We're going to speak to Liam Smith very shortly. He takes on Eubank Jr in the main event. So, I mean, it's going to be a bumper 12 months ahead, Spence. What and who are you most excited about seeing?
Do you know what? I think a kid that I'm really looking forward to seeing, and a kid that's developing so well, is Adam Azim. I think that he's the next superstar of British boxing. Maybe not a lot of people will know about him at the moment, but I think by the end of 2023, everyone will know about him. He reminds me of sort of like a young Nazim Hamed, that sort of kid that is like...
Ben's got him, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, yeah. But he can fight, man. I mean, his last fight, he won in 2 rounds against Ryan Charlton at Alexandra Palace. He knocked him out, and Charlton's a seasoned pro. Who's pushed a lot of good fighters all the way, and the way that Adam Azim dealt with him, I just looked at him and thought, yeah, this kid's going to be the next star of British boxing.
Okay, Simon, what excites you as we go into this year of boxing?
A lot of things. I'm looking forward to the fight next week. I think that's going to be a great fight. Chris Eubank Jr and Liam Smith. I'm really, really invested in the Anthony Yard, the Turbia fight. I'm looking forward to Lee Wood. Fighting the fellow that vanquished Josh Warrington, yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Boatsi fight for a world title. At some point. There's a whole raft of fights that I'm looking forward to. I think if the fight promoters can get their boots on and get their heads in gear and make these fights happen, not just at the blue ribbon ones, not just we all want to see Fury versus Usyk and Joshua back in the ring, but there is also a litany of great fights around there in all the weight classes.
There is.
And
we've got Jack Catterall coming down the pike against Josh Taylor, which will be a great fight.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the landscape is really there.
I mean, somewhat predictably, for me, Fury, Usyk. And I'm wondering where we're at with that, Spencer. So you're going to fill us in a bit more on that. Frank Warren revealed that they've now sent Usyk's team a draft contract for the Fury fight. So we're looking at March. In fact, this was Frank the other day on talkSPORT.
We're all looking at March, and everybody's really up for getting this done, and we're all very, very positive it will be done. I mean, there's still lots of things to be sorted out, but I genuinely believe that this will happen. I mean, and it was good that the IBF yesterday got rid of their this thing that they're going to have their mandatory. They cancelled that yesterday, so everything's looking positive for it.
Well, kind of a very cute war of words has started because Usyk tweeted a message, Spencer, to Fury this week. The middleweight is here. Where are you, Belly?
I saw that tweet, actually. Yeah, the mind games have already started. I believe we will get the fight. I think it'll be middle of March. I think they were talking about the 17th, I believe, around that sort of time. Oh, it's going to be it's going to be in Saudi. Yeah, it won't happen here. I know they were talking about it possibly being here, but it won't be here. I think if they do get that over the line, the first drafts have been sent over. So if Usyk's team act quite quickly, I think that we will get that, and the Saudis will be ready. So I think those talks have been ongoing for a while now, and I think that I do believe we will get that fight. I think this year actually we're going to get some of the fights. I think it's been a frustrating year for boxing, a frustrating couple of years for boxing, but I believe that this year we're going to get some of those fights that we have always wanted to see, but haven't quite got over the line. I think we will have a good year this year.
I mean, Fury Usyk must excite you, Simon. Because here's a guy in Usyk.
Of course it does.
Could he upset the apple cart? Well, you know what? He just might.
Does it excite me or intrigue me? Probably a combination of the two. I'm hearing that there's $170 million being bid as a facility fee.
That's a record, right?
From the Saudis, and they want to bring the Qataris to the table to get some competitive tension going to be able to do that. But yes, of course it does. Because, I'm a huge fan of the boxer, Tyson Fury. I don't always agree with some of the things he says, and I didn't particularly agree with the fight that he just had because I didn't think it was a compelling fight. This is a compelling fight. This is 2 world champions colliding. This opens up an opportunity to see a real fight and a real challenge for Tyson Fury. I still think he wins it. I still think he wins it comfortably because I just think he's got everything that Usyk won't be able to deal with, which is movement and technique and size, and he'll use
you
all
agree
of
with that, Spencer?
Oh, totally. Fury's on another level. I think that become evident actually when last month when he boxed Derek Chisora, and we saw if you're using Chisora as a yardstick. With the heavyweights around today, and you see Derek Chisora pushing the likes of Dillian White all the way that he did,
Usyk.
and
Chisora pushing Usyk.
Sorry,
Well, Chisora fought fought Usyk.
Yeah.
So we saw
Yeah,
how more
that's what I'm
compelling he was
saying.
against Usyk than he was against Tyson
exactly.
Fury. Yeah.
So, but the way that Fury dealt with Chisora that night, it was just like, you're just watching it, and it wasn't the way that he was just, it was his boxing IQ, the way he was just breaking him down and slowly picking his shots, not taking any chances. The guy is smart, so that's Usyk's main weapon, is his ring craft. He's very, very clever, and he knows how to maneuver around the ring. But Fury matches him there.
And he can take it
but
with
he's
him,
got the size. And he's the naturally bigger guy. So I think it's a comfortable win for Fury. I really do.
And you think, Simon, you mentioned the Qataris. We know some of the main movers and shakers there. They're in the mix now, right?
Well, I think you'll find that every man and his dog is going to be talking to the Qataris about sports hosting now, because they've seen the Qataris have the infrastructure to be able to do it. The Qataris will have their view on it, and it still falls into the category, I'm afraid, whether NASA likes it or not, that it's being used to legitimise certain regimes in certain respects. But notwithstanding that, they'll be at the table. But I just think we've got so many intriguing opportunities over the next 12 months. I can't wait to see Ben Whittaker back, because I think he's a remarkable talent at the beginning of his career. I think there's so many fights that can be made this year. Whether we see Deontay Wilder getting in with Joyce, possibly, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
And whether we see Richard Riakporhe fighting Chris Smith, whether we see Riakporhe fighting Coley, and all of these things in the cruiserweight division, we've got a landscape and some all the way up from the lightweight fighters. We've got Lee Wood that will be coming on later on to talk to us.
Yeah.
We've got a great fight coming up. We've got so many fights coming.
What about Joshua? Where's he in the mix?
Which is interesting. So Joshua's I think they're going to announce it very, very soon, but Derek James looks like his new trainer. He's over in the States. Derek James is a former fighter himself, a good fighter, to be fair, good cruiserweight at the time, who works now with the likes of Errol Spence. So this guy is an established trainer. I think with Anthony Joshua, as we've all seen over the last few months, is this guy has been struggling psychologically. He needs to install that confidence back. It's not the physical side of things that needs to be sorted, because he's got that all there. He's got all the attributes that's needed to be world heavyweight champion. He's explosive, he's big, he can whack, but, if you're psychologically not right, you've got problems, because that is the main part of the game.
The problem is, Spence,
he can have
all the attributes, but he ain't going to beat Usyk, and we might, if he gets a third shot in, but he ain't going to beat Fury. So he ain't going to be world champion anytime soon.
Well, listen,
unless the belts get splintered.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he needed. So there was a missing part of the jigsaw with Anthony Joshua, and that was a trainer. He can't settle with a trainer until you get that. You're not going to get the head right, and that's what's been missing. So let's hope that he's found that now, and that puts him in the mix. It's great for heavyweight boxing. It's great for boxing as a whole if Anthony Joshua can come back in there, win or lose, but get back in the mix. Because I think that's what we want to see.
Has he got an opponent?
Yes, he has. I'm hearing April the 1st. I'm hearing it's in London, possibly the O2, something like that, in London, and it's Dempsey McKean, who's a Australian heavyweight, former MMA fighter, 22-0, tall, southpaw, a little bit straight backed, likes to have a go, but maybe a perfect confidence rebuilder for Anthony Joshua, because that's what he needs right now. To be fair, I think you can allow him that one.
I agree,
but then we've got to get him back in the mix.
I'd prefer to go and see him against someone like Otto Wallin, because I think there's more on that fight.
Yeah, more jeopardy in that.
Well, Wallin's got a better name, he's more established, and he knocks him out. There's more confidence all around. The background noise from the media will be, live one here. Yeah. And the background noise for him will be, I've just knocked out Wallin.
Yeah.
And Wallin and Fury had trouble with him.
Yeah.